Yo, this is take two of the why what, why not sleeping will keep you fat. Today we're going to be going over how it's not sleeping makes you mentally vulnerable, gives you a bad start, you feel the effects of the deficit more, and you have more time to mess up. Right? So we all know sleep is super important for your quantity and quality of life. It affects everything as much as, us in modern society tend to push it off. It's actually a great part of our overall health and, daily experience. So, let's see how it keeps you, how it will keep you fat. It leaves you more mentally vulnerable, So I'm hoping that you guys have realized that whenever you're more tired, you're more likely to make bad decisions. You're more likely that the later you stay up, the more likely you are to make impulse decisions. Decisions like, oh, I'm feeling hungry, let me eat this. Instead of like making normal food, let me just eat, I don't know, 2 minute noodles or this pack of chips. You're more likely to make bad decisions the more tired you are, which will obviously be detrimental if you have any goals, right? Um, Gives you a bad start. Everyone knows the more tired you are, the worse your days overall, and the worse your days overall, the more likely you are to do things purely for the sake of making your day better. So if you're having a shitty day overall, it's easier for you to decide, let me give myself a break. Let me have a chocolate. This day's been feeling horrible. Let me give myself this freebie because, the day's overall bad. It just gives you a bad start to the day. And if you start the day badly, you'll probably continue the day badly, right? So, in a more literal sense, if you go to sleep really late, then it's more likely that especially if you don't really have anything pressing, it's more likely that you'll wake up later. And if you wake up later, then you'll probably have less time to do something that whatever you plan to do during the day. And the less time you have, you'll probably do things like instead of making your food, you'll order your food, or you'll go to eat it at some cafe. And then you probably, if it's like a someday like a weekend or a holiday, then you're more likely to be like, oh, the day is already bad, let me just uh you know buy pizza or something. No, you're more likely to make bad. If you start the day badly, then you're more likely to continue the day badly. Whereas if you just slept well, you would have woken up, you would have felt healthy, which is also a huge thing in terms of decision making, like the type of person that you're feeling like when you wake up. Because for me, at least, I know if I go to sleep late and I oversleep and I wake up at 12, the person that I feel like is not the same person than if I, went to sleep at a good time and woke up at like 6 or 7. The person that woke up with me, the person I woke up as is about like when I wake up at 12, I wake up as Bam Kumbrai. Bam Kumbi? Bam Kumbi is ordering food, he's just chilling on the couch, he's not doing nothing. Bam Kumbi. Like I don't like being bumkumbi. Bumkumbi is fun, because like every short term gratification activity is fun. Just sitting down watching TV, lying down, just watching TV for hours on end, eating junk food because junk food tastes good. It's fun to be that guy, but he's not good for the goals at all. He's fun now, but in the future, bum kumbi is not fun. I'd rather wake up as productive kumbi, healthy feeling kumbi, not even like particularly healthier than bum kumbi, like at the beginning of the day. I mean, even though, he is, but he feels healthy as well. He wakes up, he's like, oh yeah, I woke up early. Therefore, I'm someone that wakes up early. Therefore, I'm someone that has all these good habits that do. Because if you wake up late, there's probably things that you would have done if you'd woken up on time that you now can't do because it's too late in the day, right? If I wake up and, I had the tasks for reading, going outside, now it's 4 hours later. I'm not, it's 5 hours later. I'm not going to do all that. I'm not going to read. I'm not reading. What? I missed 5 hours of the day. I'm not reading. I'm not going outside to, what's it called? To earth, to ground myself. I'm not doing none of that. I'm gonna stay inside, and it just puts you in a bad, not even a bad mood, just like a bad frame off the bat. You don't want that. feel the effects of the deficit more. Basically, since you're more like not tapped in, you're gonna feel more of the effects of the deficit. You're tired and then you're also hungry, so it makes it worse. You probably had to skip a meal, because maybe if you normally have breakfast, you've had breakfast later now. That's not a good thing. You're feeling more hungry when it's time for breakfast. You're feeling more hungry in between because you're just tired overall. So it makes just the overall experience worse. You feel more tired. If you maybe would have felt a bit tired from less energy, consumed and all that, now you feel extra tired because you have that being tired and also just being tired because you didn't sleep enough. And then there's also the level of you feel lethargic because as much as you might have caught up your sleep, you woke up later. You woke up off cycle, so you feel lethargic throughout the day. And then you have more time to mess up. This one, more time to mess up is one of the more crucial ones, I think. Besides, the obvious ones, mental vulnerability and stuff. More time to mess up is just an underestimated issue with someone who's trying to diet and you just stay up late. You stay up late, you wake up maybe early or something, because it just means you have more hours of the day where you're awake, you know? And this is where the mental vulnerability part comes in. Because imagine this, you spent the whole day, now it's 18 hours, let's just say. You spent all 18 hours just awake, you've been doing the deficit, you're already tired, you're hungry, but you've been able to ignore it, right? Now you hit hour 17. You're not only just tired, you're mentally vulnerable because it's the end of the day, no one's awake, it's just you and yourself, and you're hungry. Now, if you went to sleep at hour 16, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. You go to sleep hour 16 and you wake up fine. But now it's hour 17 and you're extra hungry. And you're like, it's fine. I used to do this so much. I would be up at 1 a.m., right? And I'll be feeling hungry. So I'd go to the kitchen and I'd make this straight up lie. I'd straight up lie to myself. I'd say, I'm gonna eat this now and I'll take it off what I'm eating tomorrow, right? Since technically speaking, it's tomorrow. I'm gonna eat this now and I'm gonna count it as part of tomorrow. And I'm just not gonna eat whatever I would have eaten tomorrow. Straight lie, I'm eating normal food tomorrow. I'm back on track tomorrow. But because I did that now, I'm off diet, Straight lie. It gives you just more time to mess up. The longer you're awake, and especially the longer you're awake in your weakened mind state, the more likely you are to just mess your thing up for something that probably wasn't even worth it, was that sandwich that you had at 1 a.m. really worth it? No. It was a sandwich that you could have just it's just a thing of, you don't want to be in that situation. It's a very avoidable situation because realistically speaking, you're probably not awake for any reason that you needed to be awake for, right? It's not like you're working. You're most likely, you were up because you were working beforehand, you finished working, and then you felt like you needed to catch up what you missed during the day in terms of leisure activity. And then that's why you're still up. Realistically speaking, that's probably why you're still up. So it's a very avoidable thing, in terms of being up at that time. So yeah, that's why that's why not sleeping is keeping you fat. Because, let me see. Because, it makes you mentally vulnerable, gives you a bad start to the day, you feel the effects of your deficit more, and you have more time to mess up. So yeah, don't do it. Just sleep, guys, Pick the times that you're sleeping, make your schedule work towards that and go to sleep. It's fine to be off sometimes. I'm off most of the time, but not by enough to be detrimental. And when it is by enough to be detrimental, I know that it's enough to be detrimental. So I already know I'm messing up. So just keep on top of your sleep, guys. It really makes your life much easier or much more difficult depending on which side you go. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to say something, leave a comment. Share the video with your mom, grandma, teacher, pet dog, pet horse, pet iguana, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.